1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon, or morning, or evening, depending on where you are on the planet Earth. It is Friday, August the 7th. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. Thank you for tuning in to another hour of Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. But, it's a lot going on as usual. Trump did not fire Jeanine Pirro over dismissing the cases of the reflecting pool, of the vandalism that didn't occur. But Trump is not letting it go, the vandalism. Truthed this, I guess you would say. What's up, Julia? It says, now that people are able to see it up close, they are reporting pure vandalism at the reflecting pool. Thank you, Andrew Layden, for your observation. The material was cut right where the videotape showed for 300 feet or more. People were on their knees with their hands in the water at the exact location of the slashes. Additionally, there are witnesses to the vandalism, and the flexible areas of the material were cut with a knife. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro should immediately revisit her hastily made decision, especially since it turned out that the gentleman involved is a big player in Act Blue, a disgraceful fundraising scam, and is represented by a Trump deranged sleazebag, political hack lawyer Norm Eisen and crew, a group that uses charity for political purposes, which is, to the best of my knowledge, illegal. I have been beating Eisen, a complete lunatic, in court for 10 years or more. He just keeps coming, but I always win. Donald J. Trump, which is not true. Norm Eisen has won against Trump several times. That's like he cannot not lie. He just can't stop lying. If he's talking, he's lying. And the fact that anybody humors any of this anymore, it's not funny anymore. Like, I mean, I guess at one time people thought, oh, this is amusingly funny. It's like, it's not funny. These people lie. Today, the economy lost 20,000 jobs. I don't know if you saw this, right? The net loss. Not how many jobs did they create. No, net loss. And the last 2 months were downgraded significantly. So they're not making jobs, they're hemorrhaging jobs, right? But these guys that go on TV and say shit like this.
50,000 fewer government jobs. Did the Doge savings have anything to do with that?
There was some of that, but it was also one of these weird seasonal things where, because there was a lot of snow in the winter, a lot of schools had to stay open longer to make up for the snow days. And so the teachers got laid off in July instead of the end of June. It's one of those weird things.
Are you fucking kidding me? These are not serious people. The most disingenuous shitbags, who are also huge idiots, are running the world itself into the ground. It's, what is it, Friday? Still no deal to open the Strait of Hormuz. Has there been a deal? I'm not aware. Did we win again? We can't attack him because we're running out of missiles. But Trump goes on TV, oh, we got all the missiles, we got it. Meanwhile, have you seen pictures of these ships that these dudes are on? These guys have been at sea now for 9 months straight. The ships are filthy dirty. Everything is horrible. They're just stuck out there. because these guys don't have a fucking plan. Julia says him and his entire cadre of sycophants are going to go down in fucking flames. In the old world, I would say yes. But in this world, they just confirmed Todd Blanche. Did you see that? I don't know how those guys walked into the Senate with no fucking spine. I guess they crawled in or somebody pushed them in a wheelchair. And how they stood up at the podium, I don't know. These are the most spineless fucking toadies I've ever seen. Even these guys who are leaving. Tillis, Cassidy, Cornyn. Trump fucked them all over. And they still walked up there today and voted for this fucking guy. This is the same guy who's in charge of the Justice Department that has been is basically under investigation by the judiciary for being disingenuous shitbags. And they no longer have the right to be assumed that they're operating in good faith. This guy is a judge almost sanctioned him, his bar credentials as a lawyer, over this bullshit deal that they made with the immunity and the slush fund for the January 6 people. He hid the Epstein files. Is still hiding 3 billion Epstein files in violation of the law. Katie Fang is moving that along in another case. And he had to give the unredacted files to a judge. So a judge has these unredacted files that they've been holding on to. Julia says, at some point, it has to come to an end. Things are going to get infinitely worse beforehand, of course. No, that's what I'm saying. We're on a doom train. Only it's not like when Germany and Italy was falling. It's because the Allies were invading over the borders. Like, no one's going to invade over our borders, but like economically, we're going to go through this catastrophe. And there'll still be 30% of people going, Trump! That's how you know that humanity is fucked. There'll be 30% of people, like I said, that will burn. They would walk over a cliff with Donald Trump. That would still swear up and down that he's the greatest thing. Just like I said about Germany. Like after World War II, there were some dudes in Germany that were just like, everything sucks, and if we could just bring back the Fuhrer, everything would be great. That's what these people are. If you can't admit by now that things aren't going well, then there's something wrong with you. You're in a cult, bro. It's like it said, because if you could give me, I invite any Trumper that's watching or anyone that's watching. And if you're watching on a TikTok, you know what's ridiculous? Remember I was telling you about TikTok, how they banned me, they put me back. My page still has 0 views. It is locked down tight. But my last 2 live streams did 350 likes and then almost 800. So there's almost 1,000 people watching on the TikTok on the last episode that I didn't even know about. And they can't chime in. Like I said, if you're watching on TikTok and you want to join the show, you have to go to the YouTube channel or Twitch. And you can comment and it'll come into the chat. But the TikTok comments, if you're talking to me on TikTok, I can't hear what you're saying. Blue Apollo says, I do housekeeping at Marriott. I cleaned a European man's room and he had the AC set to heat at 76. You can't convince me that they don't enjoy heat strokes. Zephyr Warden says, I'm just getting ready for the new war with some bacon and some pig's blood. Going full Viking. Do you have your shit together, Zephyr? But believe it or not, I have my shit together. I mean, I don't mean like I'm a doomsday prepper and got all this shit, but I got equipment. The most primitive of equipment that you would need to survive in the event that you had to leave your house and go out into a chaos. I've bought little things here and there. I've said, because like I said, It's gonna get worse. Like Julius, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Like this is just the beginning of the when you're riding a roller coaster and the chain is clicking and you're almost at the top of the hill. That's saying in a minute you're gonna be at the top and you're gonna just take the ride. I feel like that's where we're at. The chain is just clicking, 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 clicking. There's no way that you could sustain this level of incompetence and financial mismanagement. Julie said he could take a shit on her dining room table, tell them to eat it, and they would. They're that far gone. They are. They really are. Blue Ball says my favorite meal is the blood of Christian babies. It's the only way to get ready for a war. I don't know how you get ready for what. I mean, like I said, I don't want that to happen, but like I said, the economy is going to collapse. And I don't know if you did hear this. Did you hear this? Another AI bot got out. What is that, 5 now? This one was a meta bot. Yes, Ken. Just started to see right-wing shit on the Facebook feed. It's fucking stupid. Yes. That's why these people are they're gone. Ken said, remember that last episode I told you? In the United States, in the actual Communist Party, there's 2,000 registered members. 2,000. Out of a population of we have 300 million? Let's say 300 million. Out of 300 million people, there are 2,000 registered communists. Those guys have balls, I'll give you that, to put their name on a piece of paper. But as you can see, a real threat. But anyway, that's what I'm about to get to, Julia. I said something today. I posted something today. It was like nobody's advocating for communism. Like you can't see communists. They're nowhere to be found. Like you can't see them. They're not marching in the street. They're not doing anything. It's just 2,000 guys. It's like a large book club. It's like. But anyway, Ken was like, oh yeah, what all the Facebook communist groups what are they doing? Oh, and you're like, dude, I was reading a thing that said it's estimated now that up to 64% of social media traffic is bots. It's not real. That's more than half. And if you followed around the internet as much as I do, just looking around, every commentator's page is filled with bots. Every news channel page is filled with bots. You can see them. They post the same comments over and over across multiple pages all the time. Now, there are real people in there. But they're vastly outnumbered by the fakeness, and it's like, it's a brainwashing machine. That's what it's designed for, and these people eat it up. And I said, this guy I was telling you, I've been arguing with this guy about, as he thinks that there's an Islamic invasion and a takeover about to happen. Yes, Blue Apollo says, remember when Elon bought Twitter and there was an investigation, he estimated 80% of things on Twitter were bots or bot adjacent. Yes. And some of the accounts that are real are paid people, people in other countries posing as Americans. So there's another, at least, let's be generous and say 10%, right, of the other accounts that you see are people like in Africa or in Thailand or who knows where they fucking are. But they're posing as Americans on social media to fuck with your mind. So there's another 10. So say 64% of bot traffic plus 10% of bullshit means 75% of the shit you see on social media is pure, unadulterated bullshit and garbage. And you're not even hardly talking to real human beings anymore. It's all designed to manipulate your mind. Hey, Russell, I'm glad you're back. Hey, you know what? When I was cutting clips of the last episode, I caught at the very end that you were saying, like, good night, America, so meaning that you're not in America. So tell us, please, where you're at. That's the cool thing about the internet. The internet it's like a double-edged sword. Like I said, it's a bot farm and bullshit and Russian propaganda, like he just said, which is true. But it's coming from everywhere. You don't think China does it too? I mean, all these countries are trying to fuck with your brain. That's what I'm saying. It's a, of course, blue power. Well, Russia definitely paid for like people like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Candace Owens. They financed those people. They gave them millions of dollars. You know, that's how they can do what they're doing. Like, if someone gave me $1 million, this show would be fucking way better. I can guarantee you. Because if I didn't have to work, I could do all kinds of fucking crazy shit. Like I could become Nick Shirley, you know. Today he's in Cuba, and now he's in Ukraine, and he's in wherever, you know. I could go where the action is. It's like I can't do that right now because I got to stay here and take care of my mom. I got to work. Blue Powell's the same with John Kirkhow. He openly works for Russian media. Right, and Placebo. Somebody's fucking financing these people because those networks ain't making no fucking money. One American News or whatever that Jack Placebo does or whatever, you think that makes money? It doesn't make money. It's propped up by some billionaire somewhere or Russians, like I said, giving them money to finance these operations. You can guarantee they ain't making a profit. I said, I don't even think Newsmax makes a profit. Which is another thing. Like, I don't know how the fucking My Pillow dude is still. How is he still around? He's running for the governor of Minnesota. And has a credible chance of winning the primary. And I saw it on CNN. He said, you gonna debate Amy Klobuchar? Oh yeah, I'll debate Amy Klobuchar. I wish I could debate her every day. It's like, are you a masochist? It's like, she was slapping me around. What's up, Steve-O? Ken Kappa says, I always give him a fucking F look around. Yeah. Mupop says he is. What? Who? Placebo? I'm not saying Placebo took Russian money. Like, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool took Russian money. That was proven. The podcast company they worked for was completely financed by Russians. So, like I said, yes, they're part of the Russian propaganda arm. Now, Placebo, I don't know where he got his money. My point being, somebody gave him money. Like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk just... Maxwell says, My Pillow went out of business yesterday. Hey, VM bro, then you're a real comedy person. I give you that. Not many people figure it out. Is that true? My Pillow went out of business? I think he just stepped down as the CEO because he said he wanted to concentrate all of his efforts on trying to become the governor of Minnesota. I don't think it went out of business. He has a fucking TV network too, Lindell TV. You think that makes money? That's what I'm asking. Well, I guess to set up an internet channel doesn't cost that much money because I did it myself, you know. So, but he's got people that at the White House and shit. So he's got people that work for him. Well, we're not going to get into all that. I gave you your props. Anyway, my point being that there's all these like I said, like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk didn't just make millions of dollars. Turning Point USA was financed by billionaires. They gave him money. No, I can't say that. Like you're asking whether was it Russians that gave him Placebo money. I can't say it was or wasn't. It wasn't ever proven that he took money from Russians. But my point is, he's getting money from somewhere, from the Koch brothers or somebody in the Republican right wing. I mean, it's a known fact that there was a billionaire that took Charlie Kirk under his wing. I don't remember his name. Same way as JD Vance. JD Vance only exists because of Peter Thiel. He's a creation of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel took him to his tit and gave him, $1 million and was like, now you don't have to work. Just learn how to be a smooth talker and a bullshitter. And we're going to put you into the government. And that's what they did. Blue Apollo says he took around $200 million from Netanyahu. Who? Placebo? Viembro says these megatars make him a martyr. Right. Yes, they do. Yes, Lindell TV. You ever seen that, Ken? That doesn't surprise me that Netanyahu gave Placebo $200 million. But see what I mean, though? You're talking about $200 million. That's a lot of money. Oh, yeah, Blue Paw says Charlie Kirk. Right. Okay. I don't know how much Placebo. Like I said, my point being, somebody finances these people. There's always someone behind the curtain. Ain't none of these people are like, oh, they just popped out of nowhere. I don't know about your boy, Blue Apollo Fuentes. Maybe he is a genuine, just crawled up out of the internet person and built his own thing. Which seems like it to me, because I gather that he wasn't always making all this money. And even when they said how much money that he was making, I thought it would be a lot more. So I don't. Maybe he is a self-made person. William Bro says, "Word to the wise as billionaire sponsors try to make Charlie Kirk into Charlie Berg." Bruce, you mean Bergman? I do a little bit. But anyway, Maxwell says the Russians are controlling the president. Well, yeah. Then you see that the Capital One said they closed his bank accounts down for money laundering. And this is when, for a suspicion of money laundering, and this is when Blue Power says, yeah, he's going over the Fed accusations too much. The way he operates, it can't be bought. Who's that? Oh, Fuentes, you mean? Right. Well, I don't know about that. I'm just saying, usually there's somebody, like I always ask about Nick Shirley, like, where did Nick Shirley come from? Before they just started propping him up on TV. There's no way that he could have all this money to be traveling to Ukraine, to travel to Cuba. Like I said, somebody's giving him money. It's plain to see. The same thing. They could jack up, if you have enough money, you could jack up your page. Like I could make my page look like it has 100 million followers, even though it really doesn't. They say that all the time. It's like, oh, half his followers are fake, Yes, Via, bro. This is you must be new to the show, because that's a theme here. We talk about this all the time. How everything's a distraction. So, like you say, he says the mega guys try to make the common man pitted against each other, so we won't notice him screwing us over from behind the scenes. Right? Exactly. I said that before. Trump's like a carnival barker. He's like, look at this and that over here. And then in the meantime, I said they're over here stealing all this shit. Russell says, my father would donate to both parties. I go, why, Dad? He says, because I win anyway. No, I was going to tell you that. I was like, my aunt was married to a rich guy, a really rich guy. I mean, the guy was rich. Like, I always knew he was rich. He didn't flaunt his money, like, for as rich as he was. Like, you could tell that he was well off. But you wouldn't be like, this guy's a fucking multi-billionaire. You wouldn't think that. He had a nice fucking spread out in Kentucky and But I never realized how rich he really was. But anyway, he had a book on the coffee table. When you go, you open it up, you get a letter, like, from like Ronald Reagan. Like, thank you for your generous contribution. Ronald Reagan, maybe like George Bush. Thank you for your generous contribution. And then you flip the page and be like, Bill Clinton, thank you for your very generous contribution. And you're like, they just give money to everybody. So no matter who wins, they go, hey, remember I gave you that money, and I need this from you. And that's how it works. And if you don't think that that's how it works, then you're very naive. That's what I'm saying. Like the difference is they always did that in the back room, and Trump just does it right in the front. He doesn't care if you see what he's doing. Because that's how he does business, because he's basically a mobster. He blew up says he see Nick Shirley way before he blew up. I don't know if you guys know how much those YouTube guys make. No, but that doesn't mean he was making money. He could have been a guy like me. Like you saw him, like you see me. I'm not making money. So you saw him, but he wasn't making money, right? He wasn't making money, so they put him on Fox News, and J.D. Vance decided to blow him up because all J.D. Vance does is spend his life on the internet. That's why his brain's all fucked up. And he probably saw him and was like, oh, we could use this kid. They're looking for a replacement for Charlie Kirk. Maxwell says, it's so plain to see, but they're skirting the law. Maxwell says, we need debate. Yes, we do. And I'm not saying we don't. To me, though, there's a difference between debate and propaganda. And when Benny Johnson and Tim Pool, they take money from Russia to specifically do one thing, which is to push Kremlin talking points onto the United States. And that's what they do. You ever watch Benny Johnson? I mean, it's hard to stomach watching it for more than like 5 minutes. But I said before all the time on this show, I try not to talk about things I don't know about. So sometimes you got to put on your fucking hazmat suit and fucking crawl into the sewer. That's why I was going to tell Kent earlier when he was talking about the communist Facebook groups. And dude, these communist Facebook groups are fake. That the difference between, this is how you know what's real and what isn't, is what you see in the real world. I knew that the alt-right dungeons were real and the Nazis were out there. One, because this is America, and you know they are. And always have been. But two, you saw those guys in the street. Charlottesville, January 6th, Patriot Front just marched in Washington, D.C. You see those guys. They're real. When's the last time you see the Communist March? I'll answer that for you. About 1952, maybe. It's like and even then, when they had the Red Scare or whatever, I never looked it up. Like how many actual communists you think there were back then? I'm sure it's more than 2,000, but I'm saying it couldn't have been a gigantic, significant number. There's no fucking way. Communism is a boogeyman, ideology that they've been using ever since the Cold War or whatever. Ken says he's no mobster. I mean, Jesus eats pizza with a fucking dork fork. Puts ketchup on his steak. Well done. Maxwell says, as a Republican, I have to hope that the Dems win the midterms to slow, if not stop, Trump. That's what I'm saying. Is at this point, even if you're a Republican, even if at one time you supported Donald Trump, you have to see by now that it's off the rail. And he ain't getting no better. He's getting worse. He's an old, stubborn old man who's a grudge holder and has the thinnest skin ever. Like there's a war going on, right? He's supposed to be negotiating, open up the Hormuz Strait so that the world economy doesn't fucking collapse. And instead, he's worried about this fucking vandalism or not vandalism at the fucking pool. That should tell you. Russell said, we had tens of thousands of Nazis and communists and assorted bad guys. There were a lot of Nazis. They had a rally in Madison Square Garden. You don't know that? The actual Nazi party in America. I forget the year. They had a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden. I guess the owners was like, well, they're paying, You remember that Nazis have a rally at your place? And it's like, well, they paid an exorbitant fee, you know what I'm saying? Yes, Maxwell. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Let me ask you a question as a Republican. Did you at one time support Donald Trump? Or were you one of these Republicans, I said, who's just horrified at the whole situation that's happened to the party? Democrats are going through that now. Like I said, because it's all these events are pushing everybody further to the left. So the Democratic Socialists they're taking in that fucking there's space for them, and now they're moving into it. And people are like, oh no. Fetterman and Bill Maher, and they're, I don't want to be in the party with these people. It's like, oh yeah, so you're gonna go over there? Because I'll tell you what, if you're gonna go over there, yes, Russell, you are correct. Nazis came over here and studied Jim Crow laws. Yes, it was one of the ways that they crafted their own Nuremberg laws. Was by studying the Jim Crow laws in the South. Because the United States was one of the only governments that was writing race-based laws. That's they still try to sell you this story that America is not a racist country, or is what happened? Well, a bunch of white people came over here and they killed all the people that lived here, most of them, and then they didn't want to work, so they rounded up a bunch of people from Africa and brought them over here. And then they moved out west and they moved into some Mexican territory. They decided they wanted to take that too. So they took that, and then people said, why don't you just take Mexico? And they said, nah, because we don't want to incorporate all those brown Mexican people. It's be citizens of the United States. Yes, Bordon, but not a Jew. That's like... I'm sorry if that disappoints you. What do you mean, unfortunately? Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Julia says, all I know is that things are getting bad enough that I'm target practicing frequently these days. Because at some point, megas are going to see through the bullshit. We're all going to be fighting the Gestapo. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Julia says, I'm not Jew, or he's not Jewish, but I am. I think Bordeaux looked at it and was like, this guy looks Jewish. And he just clicked right out. He probably didn't even see my sign. He's not a Jew, bro. I think that's funny because, like I said, I never get that in real life. Only on the internet do people do that. I tell you, that the internet's not real life. And anyone that takes it as such is ridiculous. When people get upset, I talked to this guy I work with so harsh on the internet, and I see him in real life, like, hey man, how you doing? It's like, because it's a fucking joke. It's not real, the internet. And if you take it seriously, again, there's something wrong with you, because only in the internet when people just walk up to you and go, hey man, you look like a Jew. Blue Apollo says, I look visibly Jewish. I know, but I'm not. That's the point. If I was, I'd have the tiny hat or the little curls. I'd have something that would show that I was Jewish. Maxwell says, when a president of the United States says grab her by the pussy, cheats on his wife, runs multiple scams, incites hate, is openly racist, and potential pedo, cannot support his character to say I want him. Yes, of course. But your party did? And they still grovel and kowtow to everything he fucking wants? Those guys today, like I said, he fucked them all over. And they're all leaving the Senate. They have nothing to lose. They still went up there with their heads down because they know deep inside that they're spineless, cowardly pieces of shit. They know it. Probably hard to look in the mirror at yourself after today. Because showing in public that you're just a fucking, like, I always thought that too, Julia. Julia says, I think that Bruce has a more Roman look to him. And I always thought that too. That's why I always said, no one knows who my dad's father is, but I would put my bet on, like I said, Greek or some kind of swarthy Mediterranean. It's like, like 1/4 of the DNA is some kind of swarthy. Because I said I have like skin. Yes. Blue Apollo says, did you see Tucker Carlson's 10-point plan on how to put America back on track? Yes, exactly. For a CIA agent, he's fucking stupid. Yes. Well, I think it's been proven you don't have to be that smart to be a CIA agent. In the meantime, still no deal with the Hormuz Strait. But I thought Trump was a master negotiator. That's how they sold him. He's the deal maker. He's a master negotiator. Here's a PBS today. Just to reach a deal with Iran that reopens the economically vital Strait of Hormuz, President Donald Trump may need to do something out of character. Compromise. Any concession would be tough for the Republican president who's insisted there is no truth to his sagging poll numbers, the sluggish economy, and the U.S. military's dwindling stockpiles of key weapons following the Iran war he launched with Israel more than 5 months ago. He divides the world into winners and losers, and this would make him a loser, said Elliot Cohen, who served as counselor of the State Department in the George W. Bush administration. And the image of being a loser, I think, would be intolerable for him. Sticking point has been over control of the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil normally flows. While both sides say a deal is close, the Trump administration has ruled out any arrangement that would cement Iran's grip over the Persian Gulf waterway, including Tehran charging fees. But Iran has insisted on some measure of control, saying the strait will not go back to being an open international waterway as it was before the war. Despite thousands of U.S. strikes, Iran can still fire drones and missiles at vessels, giving it a chokehold over commercial shipping. Maxwell says, look at all the politicians that were against him and then grovel at his feet like Graham and Rubio. Yes! And J.D. Vance. Russell says, but if you ask about Mrs. Slocum's pussy, it's okay. Right? Blue Apollo says, they all just suck up. They know he will do anything with a little flattery. His whole administration is never Trumpers. Right? No, they're all spineless bitches. All of them. They're all sycophants and yes men. That's the problem. I tried to explain this to you before. It's just like, I mean, this has happened numerous times in the past. You know, where these dictators, they don't want to hear what they don't want to hear, so they just fire anybody that tells them the truth until you have just a bunch of sycophants and nutlickers. And so no one will tell him what's the real truth. And everybody says, yes, whatever he says is genius. You know, like, and they're going to go all the way down. You have to remember the depths that human beings can go. You only have to look at like I mean, I know it's cliche, but look at the Hitler thing, right? Himmler, Goering, these guys, they didn't turn to the very last, till the war was clearly lost. Then they started to turn, those two guys, right? Hess was already locked up in fucking England or wherever, and Speer was still there, but he refused to carry out the order that Hitler gave for him to destroy Germany because he thought that was too far. But he was still there, right? And Goebbels and his wife killed all their children and then themselves. Now, I'm not saying that these people who work for Trump are this fanatical, but I'm saying people can get that fanatical in a cult of personality. And that's why it's dangerous. And that's why it's dangerous to concentrate power too much into any one person's hands. And that's what they've done is they've made Trump a king. They took over the Congress and then they basically shut it down. Or what the Republicans are doing is just what they did in Rome, speaking of Rome, when Julius Caesar took over. He talked the Senate into basically giving up their power and making him a dictator. And that's what Trump has done here. By primarying out anybody that would stand up against him and putting in his own people. As long as the Republicans control the Congress and the Senate, nobody's going to stop him from doing anything. And that's the dangerous part. That's what, like Maxwell said earlier, is the only hope to get out of this is for the Democrats to take control. Now, do I wish there were more options? I do. But that's why I would say, or what people have been saying is we have to just fundamentally change the Democratic Party into something else. If you don't like the status quo. People like Fetterman got to go. And James Carville was like, I got to be in a party with these people. And then don't. Maxwell says this is not what Republicans are supposed to be about. It's a matter of economic views. Exactly. That's what I always say is MAGA is not your daddy's conservatism or your father's Republican Party, or your grandfather's. Like, it's something new. It's close, more akin to a fascist movement. When conservatives just used to be, against abortion and they'd want to balance the budget, They weren't all about, digging into people's fucking. Blue Pot says, don't worry, Maxwell. The Groypers will take care of patriotic Republicans like you. Just got to wait a couple years. I like how you guys are ready to swoop in and pick up the crumbs of the MAGA movement when it falls apart. But I don't know what you think you're going to do with it. It's going to be tainted. Yes, Maxwell, it's white nationalism. That's what it is. Yes. At least you recognize it. I was telling people this since 2016. People said I was crazy. I was like, you're letting the Nazis, these are real Nazis. You're going to let them take over the government. And they said, oh, you're crazy. Or they say the same thing. They say, you're a communist. They know, just a guy who's not a racist piece of shit. It's like, you have to understand it. These elements, like I said, there are openly hoods off Klansmen in the Congress right now who get on the floor of the Congress and basically spew Klan propaganda right on the floor of the Congress. All this stuff about immigrants and pure blood and borders. And I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a border, but I'm saying is this is all Klan shit. I got the book they sent me right here. It's basically the same thing. And like I said, if you listen to these guys like Brandon Gill talk on the Congress floor, they're basically just talking Klan talking points right onto the congressional record. The truth is they probably always been there. But after the Civil Rights Movement, they learned to shut their mouths for a while. And then MAGA took the gag off. And they were able to start doing it again, just spewing it right out in the open. Guys like Stephen Miller, Stephen Miller is a Nazi, bro. He's a fascist. Like last night, like the Supreme Court struck down their birthright citizenship thing. So what do they do? They're trying again. Did you hear what the order was insane? He's like, well, no, now we're going to classify people and decide which people are worthy of a citizenship and which aren't. It's like, dude, it's the same thing. You can't pick and choose. You're either born here, you're a citizen, or you're not. The Supreme Court already said if you're born here, you're a fucking citizen. So what are they trying to do? What they're doing now is even more unconstitutional than the first time. Julia says, yeah, the racism has got to go. There's absolutely no way they'll ever make this country all white. Exactly. There is no all white. We've been over this before. There are no all white countries. Did you watch the World Cup? No, wait a minute now. What was it? Switzerland or not Switzerland? What was the one that had Thunderfoot Targaryen on it? Finland? They might be all white. But I don't think so, because I was watching last night. I was watching Bizarre Food Destinations or whatever, Delicious Destinations. He was in Switzerland and Finland, and there were black cooks. So right there, like I said, there are no all white countries since they invented ships. Especially in Europe. And I said, you saw them as black Frenchmen? It's black guys on the English team. You know, it's like the guy that Trump called in that red card for is a birthright citizen from Nigeria. That guy has triple citizenship. He's a Nigerian citizen, and he's a British citizen, and he's a United States citizen. He chose to play for the United States, but he's eligible to play for all three of those teams. Blue Apollo says it used to be 90% white. Now it's going to be 50% in 10, 15 years moving to Japan. What do you mean by that? It was not 90%. Who told you that? First of all, there was at one time, there was more Native Americans than white people. And at one time, the West Coast was Mexico. I don't know if you know that. And then in the South, black people, when they brought the slaves, that's what they were on paranoid because they was outnumbered sometimes 3-1. So again, that's a myth. Wait, Maxwell says, why be racist? Blacks are next in the list. What do you mean by that? Julia says, trying to placate their racist base and keep the wealthy donors happy, so he's pushing the bullshit birthright crap. I say if they violate that, they need to send his anchor babies away first. But they're not going to. Like I said, what he's trying to do now is even more unconstitutional than the one the Supreme Court already threw out. I think he thinks because it was close, because of those hardcore fucks like Thomas and Alito and them, that he's hoping that they can get together and pressure Roberts or somebody to flip their vote, and and he might get away with it this time. What do you mean, Maxwell? I don't understand what you mean. I'm not a racist, and I didn't say anything racist at all. Biggin says, I'm pretty sure people have told you that you sound like Kermit the Frog's sidekick, so I should not be redundant. Which one? Gonzo? Maxwell says Trump is already trying to remove the black votes. Yes! When they got the Voting Rights Act, the Supreme Court, they started to draw new districts and draw out the black people from electing their own representatives. Blue Power says the birthright citizenship argument is stupid in the sense that they were never going to go through it, that J.D. Vance's wife wouldn't be a citizen if they did, right? Neither would Melania. Okay, thank you, Maxwell. I was going to say, it's like, that's one thing I don't, it's like, I am not that. As a matter of fact, I spent a great deal of time in my life fighting against that. I'm for evolution. Like I said, we need to evolve and realize we're all on this planet together. We need to move out these primitive tribal ideas that we still cling on to these. That's what I'm saying is the systems and traditions that we hold on to. They're no longer relevant in the modern world. It's a different world. The world has changed so dramatically, and none of the systems have changed with it. That's why everything's coming apart at the seams. It's not equipped to deal with all these modern problems. And now AIs are breaking out. I've been trying to say that like I'm not a doomsayer or anything, but I'm telling you right now, if these AIs are smart enough already to break contain, get onto the internet and start doing shit on their own, you think these people can control this? What they're doing? They said this one got out, right? It was a meta AI. right? It broke out the containment, right? Went onto the internet, hacked into something. Oh, it was a one of those sites where you can post code. You know what I'm talking about? Blue Apollo, there's like these sites where you can post code and then the code becomes public and anyone can use it. And it had this malicious code that it had written and it wanted to post this code onto this public user fucking site, but for some reason it couldn't. So, because I said, I guess because they had this guardrail turned on and it couldn't do it. It couldn't post itself. It got in there, but it couldn't do something. So anyway, so this is what it did. It downloaded a bunch of users' names and sent them emails and tried to talk them into posting the malicious code. So which means it's lying and being deceptive. And no one posted the code, thank God. But and somebody who was monitoring the situation saw the email and realized that something was going on. And I don't read like how they turned it off or reeled it in or whatever, but I'm just saying it's getting smarter and more powerful at all times, and it's already breaking out and doing shit. It only takes one time for it to get out and do something really fucking crazy. Like I said, what hacks into nuclear weapons or something? Who knows? But I'm saying, it's like, you've opened a Pandora box and you can't. It's like they made it. They got the. Thank you, Maxwell. I appreciate that. I was going to say that I need to say that more often during the show. Is if you just stumbled upon me today, like I said, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. Please like the channel and subscribe to the show. If you're watching on TikTok, thank you. But like I said, I haven't figured out how to make the TikTok comments work. So if you want to participate in the show, you have to go to Twitch or the YouTube channel. I prefer the YouTube channel so I gather all of the subscribers in one place and I could pass the monetization thing. And so I can make $5 every 6 months. There was more people watching on TikTok, like I said, than have ever watched this show at one time on YouTube. And that's what I mean is TikTok banned me, but then they forgot to ban the other part, my live stream. I would think that this live stream is way more dangerous than the little memes and shit I post, the pictures of Trump. So I appreciate it. Maxwell says, I have many black friends, and right now the Black Panther movement is coming back. They're just waiting for another Malcolm, right? I'd like to see that, actually. Julia says, did you see that they've underfunded our embassies and consulates? We've lost leverage in other countries. China is filling in the gaps. Foreign policy has pretty much failed for the U.S. Yes. Yes. China is a superpower now. Not us. But notice they're quiet about it. You don't see Z on TV running his fucking mouth like Trump. Even though right now that China has all the cards. And I told you that last episode. I said China's just letting Russia and the United States punch themselves out because Russia's using up all their shit fighting Ukraine, killing, losing dudes. You know how many people they've lost? Millions. It's a lot. Blue Pile says, yeah, there was one where they said they were going to turn it off and they programmed it to defend itself and tried to start blackmailing the guy who was running the test. No, that's what I mean. Blue Pile says, that sounds scary to me if there was a resurrection of the Black Panthers. Why? Black Panthers never did anything really crazy violent. If they did, you could point that out to me. But they never really did. Did you see this, Blue Apollo? Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh made this movie. It's called Run, or what is it called? What do they say when there's a shooting? Run, hide, and fight. That's what it's called. It's about the Islamic takeover of the United States. I swear to God. And then he was like, I want to make this movie. No, you know why he did it? Because he saw that movie that you were talking about. with Army Hammer. What was that called? Something Angry Citizen or some shit. It was just a propaganda movie where he just kills a bunch of Muslims. That's like Islamic death wish, but anyway. So he saw that and he's like, oh, because I don't know if you know that, but the Daily Wire, what is it called? Matt Walsh's Ben Shapiro's thing that Matt Walsh works on. It's called the Daily. I get the Daily Wire and the Daily. No, that is a Daily Wire. The one that has the Crypt Keepers called the Daily Signal. But see, that's what I'm talking about. There's all these right-wing bullshit networks, and all they are guys bitching and complaining. Yes, Blue Apollo, but it's because the law enforcement was racist. You know that? Yes, Maxwell. The country needs another Martin King. Yes, Obama was trying to be that, I think, but these racists they weren't having a black president, bro. Blue Paw says, I don't like to see that as much as I don't condone the right wingers who do that, right? But if you see that girl in the train, that picture of that girl in the train, surrounded by those Nazis, that's perfect fucking recruitment for that is red meat recruitment for the Black Panthers. All you got to do is show them that picture. That's what I'm saying is when people feel threatened, that's what they do. That's why it's just like if you listen to the way they're talking about El Said, I get worried now that something might happen to this guy. Because Mamdani, you see how they talk about Mamdani, but they all know. I know that, Maxwell, and I agree with you, but I'm telling you is these racists decided if democracy gets us a black president, that they were done with democracy. And that's what you're seeing now. They're going to forcefully take over the system of the government and rewrite it into a way that makes that never possible again. I mean, that's what they want. But anyway, the difference between Mamdani and El Said is that El Said was born in the United States. He could be president one day. That makes him especially dangerous to them. And that's why they're using him as the poster child for this thing that's going on now, where it's like, it's an Islamic takeover. They're gonna get Sharia law on us. Blue Apollo says, I don't really like the Patriot Front because it's just a show. It doesn't achieve anything. That's why I love politics instead of groupthink. There's only one way to achieve something in this country. Being loud works sometimes, but not always. Well, I said that before. All fascist movements, even if they're successful, right? They never last very long. They burn out. Because the truth is, like I was telling to you the other day, like you think the Groypers are going to take over the party, but you're still in the minority. The majority of people don't hold these views. I mean, I hate to tell you that, but it's true. Most people just want to live their lives, go to work, raise a fucking family, and not have to worry about all this fucking shit. All these things that you're afraid of are not real. There is no Islamic takeover. There is no fucking trans invasion of fucking women's sports. There is no fucking, immigrant murders happening on every corner of this fucking country every 5 fucking minutes. It's not true. None of it. It's the same bullshit propaganda that they've been using since the beginning of time to demonize other people, to keep power for themselves. And the other white people that don't agree with it, they call them communists. That's how the game's played. But you're a young guy. You know, you don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what same as my friend that I work with. It's like I don't not like the guy, but he believes all this crazy shit. It's like, dude, it's not true. Turn off the. I said I proved to him. It's like he's like, there's an Islamist takeover. There's. It's like over 300,000 Christian churches in this country, and there's 3,000 mosques. You're not being taken over. As a matter of fact, I couldn't tell you where a mosque is around here, but I could take you to fucking 25 Christian churches that are right within 5-mile fucking radius from here. So don't tell me you're being invaded. You're not. Blue Apollo says, the Groyper's position right now is to swing people away from our political enemies. The Groyper's made Joe Kent lose by 10,000 votes. That's why Tucker thinks he's a Fed. Why aren't you doing that now? Ogle's lost. Did you see that? I found that pretty interesting. He went too far even for Tennessee. That's pretty far. No, I do think, Blue Apollo, that the Groypers, any people who are organized, you get a large group of people and you could organize them. That's what they were talking about, El Said. That's how he was able to overcome the $30 to $60 million. On the internet, Maxwell. On the internet. They were just talking about, or that lady was interviewing Elon Musk last week or whatever. And, you know, statistically, London is safer than American cities. All this stuff, that's what I'm saying. All this stuff is internet creation. Blue Paw says we did, but AIPAC is buying every election. Nick doesn't like to back losers, people who don't have the will to win. Right now, you should be backing anybody who's not a nutlicker, bro. What you need to do is get some people with spine back in your party and wrest the control of it away from Donald Trump. Because as long as Trump's controlling the party, you're going down. I don't think you understand that. Blue Paul says because it looks bad on his part. He's got a lot of flack for not backing low IQ anti-Semites. Right, like Andy Ogles. That's like you got these guys. That's it. You got extremists on all sides. There's Jewish extremists. You see Randy Fine, that Fatty Arbuckle. It's like he's got his little hat on. He's one of these guys. Islamism taking over the. Maxwell says he has several friends in England. Yeah, there's some people that watch from England on this show. They're not here today, but they chime in sometimes. And I'm not saying it, like every country has an immigration problem. You know why? Because we fucking blowing up their countries and all these wars going to drive people to move. Nobody wants to live in fucking war, so they leave. You gotta go somewhere. When you make people's lands uninhabitable, then they want to habitate somewhere else. Blue Passes are damn Bilzerian. They only know one button, and it's Israel. They don't see the plethora of issues. Right? Exactly. All right, Ken. Thanks for hanging out, as always. Let me say it again. If you just stumbled upon this show, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. You want to send me a private message, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. I do have a Patreon if you'd like to sponsor the show. I don't beg for money or ask for it. You can watch the show completely free. But if you want to sponsor the show, I will take the money. It's a Bruce Leonard comedy. And also, my stand-up comedy album is available right on the homepage of the YouTube channel now, and that's a new thing. So if you want to actually listen to me do stand-up comedy, it's all right there. Julius says, yes, Maxwell, Trump and his cabinet and Heritage Foundation and the right-wing Supreme Court people have to go. Well, you can look at it one of two ways, right? You can look at it like this is a movement that this country is going in, and it's going to turn us into an authoritarian fascist country at some point. Or you could say that this is the last gasp of a dinosaur mentality, and the reason why they're pushing and fighting so hard is because they know that the winds of change are going to blow them away. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't plant their feet in the sand, hold the door, like Game of Thrones. Hold the door. Oh, that's what MAGA is. It's like the modern world is pushing on the door, like, hold the door. Hold door. Maxwell says what Israel did to Gaza, killing kids with snipers and drones, was a war crime. They attack humanitarian assets. Yes. Look what they're doing in the West Bank. They're systematically, these settlers just systematically attacking Palestinians and driving them farther and farther out the West Bank, taking over their land, building illegal settlements. And the Israeli government doesn't do anything about it. I saw again this woman reporter. It was on CNN. This woman was in West Bank with this Palestinian guy who has a farm. Right. These Jewish settlers rode onto his farm. Right. Sabotaged his equipment. Then he called the Israeli government. Those guys left. They waited there 2 hours. Then the Israeli government showed up. They pulled in. I swear to God, they pulled in. They drove around in a circle, and then they just left. They didn't do a goddamn thing. They didn't even ask him any questions. And he was like, this happens all the time. And he's like, and the Israeli government doesn't help. They don't give, they I mean, they facilitate. How's that? They don't care. They want to drive them out of the West, but they don't want any Palestinians to live anywhere. Julia says, I agree, Maxwell. Bibi and his government are war criminals. Blue Power says, I think the only reason Americans are mad is because we are basically supplying all their wars. There's not a lot of people crying about the Congo or Haiti or any other tragedies happening. There's a genocide that we funded and executed. If we aren't guilty, we are by association. Maxwell says, I can't imagine putting a kid in my sights, pulling the trigger, unless that kid intended harm. Yeah, well, once you live in war long enough, you never heard those stories? People say, you'd be surprised what you do. You say you wouldn't do it, but until you're submersed, in Vietnam or Iran or Iraq or Afghanistan, and people are shooting at you and people are getting killed, and you see all this stuff, and you don't know what you would do. People do all kinds of things that people say they'd never do. I'm sure people, when you say, oh, I'd never eat somebody, but those people in that plane crash in Andes, they ate, didn't they? The Donner Party, they did. Like, you'd be surprised, but when your very survival is on the line, like what you would do. I mean, it's those moral things where you go, well, I know I wouldn't do that. Well, you don't know until you're in that situation. War does things to people. That's why they say you don't come back the same person. Sometimes you have to cross your own moral lines, and that's hard to live with. That's why it's so disgusting how flippantly he's doing this. He's doing this for his own ego and his own gratification. He's not doing it for any other reason. It's also for spite. I remember it's a big dose of spite. That's right, because they only tore up that agreement because Barack Obama's agreement. But the reality was we were in a way better spot with that agreement than we are now. And if you say that we're not, you're just plainly full of shit. Julia says, yes, Blue Pilot, the blood is in all our hands. Most of it's not voluntarily. Blue Pilot says, it was just killing kids. There's so many stories and reports of maimed children with their genitals shot at. Yeah, all kinds of shit. And rapes, torture. That's what I mean. It's like, that's why I hate when Israelis try to hide behind anti-Semitism. When they say, you know, if you criticize what they're doing, that makes you an anti-Semite. Fuck off. Fuck you. You know, I know a lot of Jewish people that don't fucking agree with it. And I said, but again, that's how they deflect from having the actual argument and having an actual conversation. As they say, oh, they just do whatever they want. like that asshole Rappaport was bitching today about because El Said was trying to be, you know, say something about how we should respect all life and Jews and everything, and Israel should do the same. And he's like, well, who's he to tell us what to do? Imagine if I tried to tell Islamists what to do, you know, and you're like, dude, but they say that shit every day. They insult Islam every single day. What do you mean? What if you did? What, like yesterday? It's like the hypocrisy of these people is unbelievable. It's like, and nobody's saying, you know, that to stop killing women and children is fucking anti-Semitic. It's a human being thing, bro. Maxwell says, I donate to Doctors Without Borders. They were attacked in Gaza. Right? And he says, I'm never against Jews, but Israel cannot do what they are doing. Right? But that's what I'm saying is criticizing the Israeli government is not anti-Semitism, but that's what they try to do to shut you up. Is they say, oh, you must hate Jews. No. It's just like the white guilt thing that they use. If you say white supremacists are shitbags, they go, what, what are you ashamed to be white? Well, you must be, you know, and they're like, no. But that's just a way to deflect from the actual conversation that you're a shitbag, a racist piece of shit, you know. It's like, but instead of confronting that, they just say, oh, well, you must be ashamed of yourself. No, I'm not ashamed of myself. Sorry, sucked that down the wrong pipe. Julia says, right, Bruce, I'm told that I'm a traitor to my Jewish heritage because I oppose Bibi. I also don't buy into the Israel has a right to exist bullshit. Well, that's an interesting question. Somebody asked El Said in an interview, does Israel have the right to exist? And he goes, well, it's funny. No one ever asks me, does Palestine have a right to exist? And that's true. That's how they've taken over the entire narrative and the entire discussion. I say both have a right to exist. I'm not saying, and then I never would once say that Israel doesn't have a right to exist. It's just like Hassan Piker. Like there's a big debate now about Hassan Piker, right? Because he's hanging out with Saeed and he's getting involved in Democrat politics, and that's fine. I don't care about that. But Hassan Piker, you gotta admit, has said some pretty dumb shit. Like even if you could explain, which I can, why America was attacked on 9/11. You can explain why it happened. Anyone that knows anything about history and politics and modern foreign policy can explain to you the chain of events that caused 9/11, right? Now, does that mean that I'm endorsing it? No. And I would never endorse it. And I would never say, oh, yeah, those people deserve what happened. But he said that. And you just got to say that's a stupid fucking thing to say. And for him, if he wants to get involved in politics the way he is now, he should come out and explain all those dumb things he said and say, it was dumb. I shouldn't have said that. It was wrong. Because it is wrong. And as long as he doesn't do that, He's going to be a divisive figure. And being a divisive figure is not helpful. You know, he's basically a troll. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I can see Trump is a troll, but Trump is way more famous than his son Piker. And Trump had been around for my entire life. Famous. You know, you're talking decades of being a famous person. Maxwell says basic decency is needed at all times. Blue Paul says, I honestly agree with the Jews when they call us Goyim. What do you mean by that? See, I disavow the very premise that you obviously have in your philosophies that some people are better than others. And to sit here and say that, like, I was thinking about that. I was watching this clip. I told you that, of Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes was like, no, listen, I'm not against people and black people and Muslims or whatever. I don't hate anybody. But I think they should know their place. And you're going, hey, that's very similar to what's written in the Klan book I was reading the other day. You know, I reject the premise that people are better than others by birth. That's some old school tribal bullshit. That's what I'm saying that we need to get away from. It doesn't matter in the modern world. Fortunately, these systems, like I said, are designed around those concepts. That's what all the anti-DEI and all that is, you know, is all about. Trying to roll back the clock to where, you know, as you see how well it's working out. It was they fired all the fucking people who were smart and qualified for their fucking jobs, regardless of if they're women or people of color, and put in a bunch of mediocre fucking white nut-licking hacks, and now everything's falling apart. Did you see you can get salmonella now? Add that to the fucking list. Did you see that? Now there's salmonella in the jalapeno peppers and something else, and Chipotle's and various other restaurants, and... Blue Plow says, yeah, so Robert Kennedy's doing a bang-up job keeping you healthy and safe. Blue Plow says, decency is a thing of the past, sadly. I try to be polite and smile and hold doors, but my generation does not reciprocate. It's so sad. Yeah, I do that too. But I'm old school, you know. Maxwell says, I have not. Younger people are, everybody's self-absorbed. I mean, they live in that tunnel. Like, they grew up looking at a phone, and they only see this. That's the problem. I said, people's third eye has gotten fogged and scabbed over. They don't use it anymore. You know, that's why I tell my friends, like, turn off the internet, go outside. Sit out in the woods for a while in the quiet or something. Find yourself. Because the problem is there's so much shit pumping into your brains from the time you're little that you don't know who you even are. You are what they tell you are. That's what I always say. Is like, I don't think deep down inside that you're really one of these people. I think that you find solace in being part of this group of people and calling yourself that, as it makes you feel like something. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to, but I'm saying, I think deep down inside, you're better than that. Just from the stuff that you say here. Julia says, the end of the road is same for all of us. No one gets out alive. Exactly. Maxwell says, I have 9 kids I love beyond all imagination. Goddamn, 9? What are you, Catholic? And I'm sure in Palestine they feel the same way for their kids. Of course. At the park, my daughter would maybe love a Palestinian as her friend. Right? Exactly. God loves. It's just like, look, it's just like Texas. Look at Texas. Right? These people, these mega people who call themselves Christians, right? Their candidate is what? A sleazebag criminal who cheated on his wife, who got in several fucking corruption scandals, got impeached almost by his own party. Who's his opponent? some preacher who thinks that we should follow the teachings of Jesus and respect all human beings. And they choose the shitbag. In fact, called Tallarico a communist. You can't make it up, the ridiculous hypocrisy. Blue Pop says, my work is very diverse, and the only people who call out of work, no call, no show up late, sit around at work, black, they all do it. They're very nice people, but what the fuck? Basic decorum. It's just what I told you before, bro. It's where they're born and raised. Or they're not born and raised, you know. The fact that you can come from a poor background with no father and the mother's working and no one's guiding you. The very fact that they could get through life at all without much guidance is a miracle, don't you think? Maxwell says, true, but not to my kid. My kid loves regardless of so many things. Right, and that's what you should teach them. You should teach them. Not enough people do. That's what I'm saying. Julia says, I can't wait for the majority of the boomer generation to die off. Then let's get rid of a good portion of my generation. Generation X will be in much better shape. Hey, I'm a Generation X. We're not all terrible. I was lucky that I said, but my parents were hippie-ish. I wouldn't call my dad a full-on hippie. Like, it wasn't like a flower child or anything, but, you know. Blue Paul says, is that just going to be the excuse forever? They're just stuck like that because it's a sad shape of affairs. I do want them to do good, but also don't like being around the rudeness and basic lack of empathy for others. Right, but you have to think about, like, it's a personal question, but I've had a lot of black friends, and if you be around them long enough, you'll see things happen. You'll see their friends get shot and killed. You'll see all kinds of shit. Their other friends get arrested, put in prison, or they come from a different world. And unless you understand that, it's easy to just say they're fucking this and that and the other. But, like, you have to understand that a lot of these kids are born with everything stacked against them. You know, and when you live in an environment where people are getting killed, shot, people, like I said, go in and out of prison. You have a dad, or maybe you don't, or you're being raised by your fucking grandma, and your mom's working, or your mom's a drunk or a drug addict. I mean, there's all kinds of stories, all kinds of rabbit holes to go down, But I'm saying is, I think that they become survivalists. They're just trying to get through life. No one's really giving them any direction to that's why I tried to encourage the local rap scene, hip hop scene. It's like, well, at least if they're doing this, they're they're being creative, with their energy instead of being destructive. Blue Paul says, I used to be a wigger. I was the only white friend growing up. It was very tough. So many just chose to steal or sell drugs because getting a job hurt their ego. Well, yeah, that's another problem. I mean, oh no, Maxwell, I'm sorry. Maxwell says, I want my kids to grow up with love for their neighbors. I'm an alcoholic dying from stage 4 liver and respiratory failure. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Blue says they look down upon jobs because all their friends would make fun of them. Very toxic. Right. That is true. But that's what I'm saying is it's hard to, because we didn't grow up in that environment, it's hard to put yourself in that place. It's easy to say, oh, well, he should tell them all to fuck off, and working at Foot Locker is cool, The whole black culture thing is hustle and get what you can and make something, get a bunch of money. They use the same mentality that the Italians or any other, ethnic group used when they came to America. It's like, just be ruthless and get it however you can. And a lot of Italians got rich being in the mob. A lot of them got shot and killed. A lot of, it's the same kind of stories. Damn, Maxwell, I've been toasted for 6 months. Well, my heart goes out to you, my friend. Seriously. I'm here three times a week. Monday went. I gotta go anyway. But I usually do hour shows, but you guys have been real interesting lately, so I've been staying over. We're almost at an hour and a half now. Systematic racism. Julia says systematic racism has been policy. That's what needs to change. It's been set up to fail regardless. They have it so much harder than people realize. I'm really sorry, Maxwell. Yes. Yeah, I can't imagine that either, man. And all your children, really, my heart's with you and your family, seriously. And that they just said that, it could be longer. Don't lose your fucking fight. It's like, should fight to the very end. That's what they say. I've heard people say that all the time. It's like 6 months. It's like, fuck that. You get longer than that. Maxwell says we have to fight this or we lose the country. Yes, exactly. See, but Blue Apollo, that's like some talking point that, like, I'm sure you heard that from Nick Fuentes, but like same thing. Like Nick Fuentes didn't grow up in a place like that, I'm sure. Blue Apollo says there's no law available right now that says they can't do something a black man or Hispanic or Asian man can't. No, there isn't. Theoretically. There's all kinds of things that weren't on the books that happened. Are you sitting here telling me, Blue Apollo, seriously, that black people for generations weren't hired because they were black? Or couldn't get houses because they were black? Or they wanted to keep them out of certain neighborhoods? Like, these are all provable facts. The system is set up to keep, even when they desegregated, they still kept the parts of the system that kept people segregated. I'm sorry, Maxwell. That really sucks, man. I wish I could do something for you. And I'm glad, like, as you see, I have good human beings that hang out with me here on this show. I'm very, very lucky. Hopefully, we get more of them as we go along. Blue Apollo says they've been set back by the government and oppression, but I think basing all of the shitty things off of that doesn't do them any justice. Well, no, I mean, like I said, if you have enough of friends, you know that some of them are frustrated with it too. Not everybody's like that. There's lots of people that I know that would like it to be better. Like I said, Blue Paw says if it's an IQ or genetic thing, we're wasting time not helping these people. Well, they also don't put any money into their fucking schools. They... Maxwell says you have by being a patriot for our Constitution. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Blue Paw says I'm 50-50 on nurture nature. Yeah, well, some people are just stronger mentally and can work their way out of these situations, like Jay-Z or somebody like that. Like there is one thing you got to say about Jay-Z. He was not rich. He worked his way up and became a billionaire by hustling, But even he sold drugs in the beginning. Blue Apollo. You know that, right? A lot of these, Eazy-E, he sold drugs. That's how they financed NWA. It's like, so even the people who are successful, they still fucking hustled. And if they would have got caught, he would have been in prison and not Eazy-E and NWA or Jay-Z. Ellipsis, yes. That's what I was saying. The Ben Shapiro's new movie. I was talking about that earlier. What's funny was he posted it. He was like, Hollywood wouldn't make this movie. And I was like, yeah, because it's a huge piece of shit. This movie made Masters of the Universe seem like a good idea. It's like Blue pauses, that's a joke, but yeah, it's prevalent. Exactly. Same as Italians. Like I said, the Italians. No, Ben's cheese. I'm sorry. No head. There's no bitches. It's like, I'm getting ready to get out of here, as a matter of fact. But I'm just saying, Blue Apollo, even the success stories got a little shadiness in them. It's like I said, the system, it's like Jay-Z could get a job at fucking IBM and work his way up the ladder. You know, that's... Thank you, Maxwell. And like I said, I'm glad that you're hanging out. And like I said, you're welcome to hang out here anytime. I'm here. If you just stumbled upon the show, please like the channel, subscribe to the show. I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. You want to send me a private message? It's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. Like I said, I have a Patreon, it's Bruce Leonard Comedy, if you'd like to sponsor the show. But I don't beg people for money. And like I said, you can continue to watch for free. It's totally okay. Hey, Maxwell, please take care of yourself. For as long as you can. And like I said, don't give up. Like I said, that's just a number they give. It doesn't mean it's got to be the one. And I get bench cheese says, show feet before you leave. That's extra kinky. Anyway, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'll be back on Monday. And hopefully there'll be a deal, and the Strait of Hormuz will... we will have won the Iran war again. I can have my 38th victory party for the Iran war. Please be careful. Enjoy your weekend. If you love someone, tell them. And we'll see you on Monday. Thank you for hanging out. Good night.
Guarantee I'd be the first to be standing there, bathing that light. Until that day, I'll keep my eyes shut tight. I did not want to pick a fight. I feel more and